welcome to this session. Welcome everyone. Waiting for participants to join. Time wait for the platform. In our meetup communities, I've shared the link in the chat box. The time we
Shubh,
wait
I
for
think you're not
participants to
audible
join.
properly.
Hello, am I audible now properly? Hello.
Yes, but your voice is really low.
Okay, I'll check again.
I'll check myself. 77 of my side.
Am I audible now clearly?
Yes, you are audible. Yes, you are audible.
Okay, so everyone, welcome everyone. We're waiting for participants to join. Till the time we wait for participants to join, you can go through our meetup communities and our social media platforms. I've shared the link in the chat box. We keep regularly updating on our social media platforms about our upcoming webinars and workshops. So please go through them till the time we wait for participants to join. And we'll start the session in next 10 minutes. Hello everyone. Am I audible clearly, Karan sir?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. So welcome everyone. I'm Shubh Parmar, your host for today's webinar. My team and I are here to make sure you have a seamless and engaging experience. If you have any questions or need assistance, feel free to use the chat window. We are here to help. So the topic for today is understand your customers with the modern data strategy. Uh, so today's event is sponsored by Synergetics. Synergetics is a leading edge learning solutions provider in India, offering specialized training and consulting services. We empower businesses and professionals to thrive in today's fast evolving tech landscape by delivering transformative learning experiences. Our core focus is on enabling digital transformation through innovative skilling programs, advisory services, and end to end implementation support. From modernizing IT frameworks to mastering emerging technologies like AI, cloud computing, and DevOps, Synergetics is committed to equipping you with the tools and knowledge to succeed. We are thrilled to have Mr. Makaran Bhoir as our today's speaker. He's a certified Microsoft trainer at Synergetics. He brings a wealth of knowledge and experience in AI and cloud technologies. So the agenda for this webinar is basic understanding of cloud computing concepts, familiarity with data management or analytics principles, and no prior deep AWS experience required, but helpful for deeper understanding. So we run communities on Meetup. This is the emerging technology community. Anyone who are eager to learn about technological knowledge can join this community on Meetup. We have multiple communities in Pune, Gujarat, Nagpur, and Indore. Those who are interested to join this community, please log in to Meetup app and gain your knowledge for free. So this is the webinar series calendar. Accelerate your cloud journey with our AWS webinar series. Whether you are just getting started or looking to deepen your expertise, our curated webinar series has something for everyone. So launch your tech career with AWS Basics. It's perfect for beginners. Understand AWS fundamentals, explore career roles, and kickstart your certification journey. For IT professionals and developers, dive into cloud architecture, migrations, and advanced tools like machine learning and prompt engineering. For data and AI professionals, master data strategies, analytics, and AI essentials that help you stay ahead in a data driven world. For business and technical decision makers, gain clarity on cloud investments, generative AI use cases, and why AWS certification adds strategic value. So join our expert-led sessions and future-proof your skills with AWS. For more details, I'll share contact with one of my colleagues, Mr. Vivek Balasundaram. You can connect with him for more details. So again, this is the open batch calendar. These webinars you have been attending are designed to give you a brief overview and summary of the full course content. However, the actual certification training programs for these courses run over 4 days, and we are currently offering them at a special discounted rate exclusively for webinar attendees. On my screen, you can see the list of in-demand certification courses we are currently focusing on. And again, for more details, you connect with our colleague, Mr. Vivek Balasundaram. Just after the introduction, I'll share his contact in the chat box. So all right, everyone, it's time for a quick quiz to make our session a little more interactive and fun. We have 5 questions lined up, and each one will test your knowledge of today's topic. But don't worry, it's all about learning, so think of this as a chance to check how much you have picked up. So qu- quickly drop your answers in the chat box. So, what is the primary goal of a modern data strategy? Uh, I I request everyone to please answer. Just quickly drop your answers in the chat box. So it's answer A, B, C, or D. I can not see anyone answering yet. So you just have to answer. Uh, in the chat box whether it's A, B, C, or D. You can see very few of them answering. Yes, I can see now people getting engaged. Come on, everyone, quickly drop your answers. So, yes, C is the right answer to gain actionable insights and improve decision making. Well done. We'll jump to the next question. Which of the following helps businesses understand customer behavior effectively? Is it A, B, C, or D? Quickly drop your answers. Waiting. Is it data silos, integrated data platforms, manual surveys only, or ignoring customer feedback? Quickly drop your answers. As I'm waiting, quickly drop your answers. Let's see who knows best. So, yes, B is the right answer. Again, well done. Integrated data platforms is the right answer. We'll jump to the next question now. What role does personalization play in a modern data strategy? A, B, C, or D? Drop your answers in the chat box. Come on, everyone. I want to see everyone answer. Let's see who knows better. Is it reduces customer satisfaction, or B, it prevents automation, C, it increases costs without value, or D, it creates tailored experiences that improve engagement? Quickly drop your answers, guys. Yes, D is the correct answer. It creates tailored experiences that improve engagement. We'll jump to the next question. Which Microsoft tool can be used to analyze customer data for deeper insights? Power BI, OneNote, Outlook, or Teams chat? Come on, everyone, quickly drop your answers. Which Microsoft tool can be used to analyze customer data for deeper insights? Quickly drop your answers, guys. Uh, so, yes, that's correct. A is the right answer, Power BI. We'll jump to the last question now. A successful modern data strategy ensures what? A, B, C, or D? Faster decision making, better customer insights, and business growth, or more manual work for employees, or C, reduced data security, or D, limited access to analytics? Come on, everyone, quickly drop your answer. So, yes, again, A is the right answer. Faster decision making, better customer insights, and business growth. Thank you so much, everyone, for answering. I hope everyone enjoyed. So now do follow us on our social media platforms to get relevant updates on upcoming webinars, workshops, and certification trainings we do. And I've already shared the link in the chat box for our social media platforms and our meetup communities as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me now. So I'll hand over the mic to a speaker. Makaran, so you can take over from here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shubh, for this wonderful introduction. So, good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible to you? If I'm audible, just can you give me a thumbs up, please? Can you give me some reaction?
Sir, you are audible clearly to me. Uh, Attendees, can you please just give me a thumbs up? Yeah, see, Prajakta hai given a thumb. Sir, I think you can go ahead. You are audible clearly.
Thank you. Thank you, Swapnil. Thank you, Prajakta. Thanks you. Okay, so welcome to this session on modern data strategy. So before we begin with the session, let me introduce quickly myself to you. My name is Makrand, and I'm having around 19 plus years of teaching plus development experience. I'm Microsoft certified trainer. I'm MCT, as well as I'm AWS authorized instructor. I'm AAI. So I've completed AZ400, AZ204, AZ104 certification from the Microsoft side. So which is Azure DevOps Engineer, AZ400, Azure Developer, AZ204, Azure Administrator, AZ104. And from AWS side, I have completed a certification, AWS Architect Associate. Along with that, I'm MCT and AAI. So I do conduct a trainings on these days, lot of on the cloud, which is an Azure cloud and AWS cloud. So I started my career in 2005 as a trainer, as a Java trainer. So since then, I have conducted a lot of trainings into a lot of corporates, including JP Morgan, TCS, Accenture, L&T Infotech, Capgemini, Siemens. So these are some of my client list where I've conducted a trainings. So my core expertise, core subjects where I've conducted a training mostly are of course a cloud related technology as well as Java JEE along with open source technology. So I've conducted trainings in these technologies. So welcome to this session where we will understand our data, we will understand our customer better with the modern data strategy. Excuse me for a moment. Yes. So you have to think, what do your customer wants from you? So of course, innovation that makes their life easier, seamless retail experience, innovating gaming experience. Your customer wants you to anticipate what products and services they need. And of course, securing the personal data, engagement of a data, behavioral data, and attitude data. So take a moment, think about what your customer wants. Probably listen to them and probably write down in the notebook, or probably you can write it down in the chat box. Some of the points what your customer probably want from you. So mostly the customer needs all these points. So customer wants some value to be provided. As a developer, we should provide some value to their businesses. Customer wants you to understand them, as I said, listen to them, and proactively solve their problem. Most of the time, customer, are not able to articulate their problem correctly to you. So you have to identify their problem proactively and probably come up with a solution to their problem. So, for example, let's say we are driving a car on a road where your GPS, you know, probably routes you to some other direction due to road construction, which you don't know, or maybe the car you're driving is about to break down. So you would want to know it proactively. You know? So when you get that data proactively in front of you, okay, you will appreciate that data. Okay, so when the companies understand their customer, they can proactively solve their customers' problem. And the AWS modern data strategy holds an answer to understand your customer. That's the reason we are here. That's the reason we are attending this session. So, most important, customer wants you to understand them, listen to them, and proactively solve their problem. You know, Instead of dumping your solution, okay, patiently understand, patiently listen to the customer and try to find out the problem from the customer descriptions. Okay, so AWS modern data strategy provides you to maybe a blueprint to store, access, and analyze all of your data. So AWS modern data strategy holds the answer to understand your customer. By storing, accessing, and analyzing a data. So when you have a data, there is a lot of challenges and complexity you need to consider. For example, you might need to overcome silo data or analyze a customer data from a different sources. Maybe it might come from a database, or it might come from Excel files. It might come from any kind of a CSV file. It might come from any social media platform also. It may come from any source, variety of a source. you know. So AWS modern data strategy holds answer to understand your customer by storing a data from variety of a source, then probably accessing that data, and it will provide some kind of analytics to your data. It will provide some kind of analytics to your data. So you might need to predict the customer behavior by analyzing that data. Okay. So when we have a data, there is a lot of challenges. Okay. And each of these challenges can be solved by using modern data strategy. Isn't it? Okay. So if you do have any kind of a question, you can write it down in the chat box. I will keep a look at chat box radically, and I'll try to answer the question you posted in the chat box. Thank you. So let's go ahead. So this is the architecture of a modern AWS data strategy or modern AWS data architecture. Before I come into this you know diagram, let me just quickly show you another diagram which I will probably draw. So you're having a data warehouse. It is a solution which is provided by AWS or any cloud also. But data warehouse is a concept which is used to store, process, and provide the analytics about the data. So data warehouse is the term which is coined, in 1988. It's a fairly old terms. So we have a data warehouse. So for example, so this is my data warehouse. Let's consider, let's say this is my data warehouse. So when you consider data warehouse, the data may come from any relational database, or any structure database. So it might come from Excel file, or your source might be CSV file, or your source might be any kind of a database, for example, CRM system. So it can be any kind of a data. So it may come from Excel, or it might come from the CSV file, or it may come from any kind of a database or any kind of a CRM system. Okay, so when you have a source, so your data might come from any one of these structured source. Okay, and then whatever data you're planning to store into a data warehouse, you know so it need to process before it stores into a data warehouse. So how do you process? By using some kind of a ETL systems. So for example, you will be using any kind of a ETL tool. So in the case of AWS, you have a AWS Redshift, which is going to do a work of a ETL. So which is extract, transform, and load. So it is going to extract a data from this sources. Okay, it will process that data. So it will do some kind of a transformation, and it will load that data into data warehouse. Okay. And once the data is available in the data warehouse, you know, then I can apply some kind of analytics. So maybe I may go and, use the Power BI to analyze that data, or I may use any kind of application to analyze that data, you know. So I may use any kind of analytics to apply on this data. So once the data is available inside the data warehouse, then I may apply any kind of analytics on that data. So for example, I may apply so just one mention I may apply some kind of a graphs. So by using a Power BI, I can just go and make use of some kind of a graph. You know, I may go and use some kind of analytics, some kind of API fetching. I may create some application, which will read the data from this the data warehouse. So this is fairly old terminology, where your data will come from. This is okay, doing good till now, but since in 2010 there is a new term has introduced, and that is called as a data lake. Okay, and why do you need, so if you are having, this to store a data, then why do you need something called as a data lake? So data lake will allow you to extract the data from a relational data source as well as from a non-relational data source. So for example, here you are having a data lake, and data lake maybe sound like a lake. So you just take a simple word, English word, data lake, where your data may come from any source. It may come from any stream. It may come from any river. It may come from any source. So you do not have a structured data. So it might come from all of these so Excel, CSV, CRM system. Along with that, it may come from a social media account like Twitter, X, YouTube, or Facebook. So it may come from any one of these sources. So for example, so here I'm having a structured source, like for example, I'll just mention CRM. Here you're having, let's say, YouTube. So here you are having a platform like X, or earlier Twitter, and LinkedIn, Facebook. So the data might come from any structured as well as non-structured or semi-structured data source. Okay. So before it stores into a data lake. So this is your data lake. Okay. So it does extracting from all these sources, and it will simply load that data without analyzing. In first place, it will store a data without analyzing. So it will extract the data from all these sources, and it will load that data without analyzing. And then okay, the analyzing will happen later, after you store that data into a data lake, after you dump that data into a data lake. So here at this place, before you are going to apply what? Extract and load, simply. And transformation will happen later. So transformation will happen after this. So maybe after this, I might go and apply a transformation. So in the data warehouse, ETL will happen, extract, load, and transform will happen, before your data gets stored into a data warehouse. But here, the loading part will happen first, and then after that, you need any kind of a, transformation based on a particular, requirement. So it can do a transformation based on a use case. So here it can happen a transformation. Okay, and once it transform, I may go and apply that transformation, and apply some kind of analytics, some kind of a graph, some kind of a intelligence and API. I can apply that on this. So same kind of thing. You can just draw it over here also. So I'll just quickly draw that and think of. So I'll just apply some machine learning, some graphs, some BI, business intelligence, some API. So my program might want. So you may go and apply any kind of a graph. So any kind of a API and any kind of a machine learning you can apply. You can think of. So this is fairly a new term. So this term roughly coined in 2010, 2011, but this is very old term. This has been introduced in the late 1980s. Okay, and this term is relatively new. So since the social media has become a lot of popular, so after that, there is a demand, there is a need of tracking that data. There is a need of storing all that data, and AWS Data Lake is the answer of that, which can store any kind of a structured as well as unstructured as well as semi-structured data. And our today's session is going to based on this, and we will discuss some of the services which is surrounded by the data lake. So let me just go and save this. Save this. Okay, so if anybody is asking a question, I'll just check the chat. Let's see whether anybody has a question. Okay, nobody seems to have a question. That's great. So modern data architecture with the data lake at the center, and there are many services which are surrounded by a data lake. So we have Amazon RDS, DynamoDB, SageMaker, Redshift, OpenSearch, and EMR. So all these services which are surrounded with the data lake. Okay, so company use a lot of, you have a term called as general purpose just like that, AWS has a term called as purpose built data store. So which means a specific purpose of that particular database or data store. You know, so company uses a purpose built data store to get best combination of a performance, scale, and the cost of their particular use cases. So you can move a data collected, in the data lake out of, you can move the data from data lake, of course, into RDS, DynamoDB, or all these services. I can do move in that data, or I can move around that data. you know. So that possibility is there. So AWS data architecture includes combination of a purpose-built data store. Okay. So for example, to have or to store um, a relational data, you have Amazon RDS, Amazon Relational Database Service. Okay, which is specifically will store a transactional data. You can store a key value data with the Amazon DynamoDB. So DynamoDB will help us to store a key value kind of a data. So this is the DynamoDB. So this is specifically a NoSQL database. So if you're having some kind of a MongoDB, so that can be implemented with the help of DynamoDB in the AWS. So AWS DynamoDB is a solution for a NoSQL kind of a databases. So just like that, in Azure, you are having something called as Cosmos DB. Okay. Then we are having SageMaker. So SageMaker is used for maybe artificial intelligence. Okay. So for artificial intelligence and uh, for analyzing the models, the training the model, it will help you to in that particular activity, SageMaker. So SageMaker optimize machine learning workload by using you know, AWS SageMaker. Then we are having Redshift. So Redshift is optimize solution from the AWS for data warehouse. So whatever we have discussed, in the earlier diagram, okay. So AWS solution to the data warehouse is a Redshift. So your data may come in or out, into a data lake from Redshift also. Okay, and we may use Amazon EMR, Amazon OpenSearch, and Amazon Glue for data processing. So I may use Amazon EMR, OpenSearch, and Glue for data processing. And I may go and make use of lake formation to secure setup and provide some kind of a governance on my data. So I may go and apply that by using a lake formation. Okay, and you have very important service, which will help you to store a data which is there inside a data lake. Ultimately, under the hood, it is going to make use of a S3, simple storage service. So data lake is built on the top of the S3, okay, which is durable, and scalable and mostly cost-effective solution from the AWS for storing, object or any kind of a data. So we'll discuss all these points, little detail. Anybody has a question? Let me see. Okay, guys, if you have a question, please do write in the chat box. Okay, so this is the concept of data lake. So we have discussed data lake is a central service and surrounded by many other services. For example, we have RDS, Amazon RDS, which is an relational data service from the AWS. DynamoDB, NoSQL service from the AWS. SageMaker is kind of a AI ML service from the AWS. Redshift is the data warehouse solution or service from the AWS. OpenSearch, kind of a whatever data you are having, it will allow you to search. It will allow you to process and search the data from the data lake. EMR, it is MapReduce. So this is elastic MapReduce. So it's kind of a big data solution from the AWS. Okay. So data lake helps you to overcome all these points, help you to overcome the data silos, find the data from a data lake more easily. Okay, clean and transform a data, by using machine learning or analytics, you know, and optimize the storage engine, by using S3 and apply granular permission, and access control. So overcome silos. So many times we want to derive customer insight from the data, which is available from the different format, from the different sources. So maybe from the relational, databases, maybe from the non-relational database, or maybe from the, any device which is available on the internet, maybe from the social media account. Okay. So I may go and analyze that data and I may provide, customer insight from that data, by using these varieties of, data source. So data lake, you can integrate all these data source, and the format into a central repository. So I may apply, as I also drawn that diagram. Let me show you this diagram. So my data might come from any one of the data source. So your data is not present in only in the structured data source. So that's the point we were discussing. So overcome data silos, which was the problem in the data warehouse. So data warehouse, can able to only you know, use only the structured data. Okay. Then second point, find the data from the data lake more easily. So I can make use of a service like Open Search. I can make use of Amazon Athena service. So this service, hello, am I audible to you? I hope. So Amazon Athena service will help you to find out the data from the data lake more easily. Okay, and as well as AWS data lake, an AWS view reads your data from a different sources, extract the technical metadata, and then creates it in the form of a searchable catalog. Okay, and you know uh, from that catalog you may discover a data from that catalog. Okay, so for that, your Amazon Glue is a service that can also help. Then clean and transform a data by using analytics or machine learning. So here, I can might I might use Amazon Glue can perform transformation from on your data. So this can Amazon Glue can perform transformation on your data. So it might go and take a data from a variety of sources. And you have another service called as lake formation. So AWS lake formation, which can help to clean the data and prepare your data for analysis. You know, so I might go and make use of a Amazon Redshift, sorry, Amazon lake formation to you know, clean our data because your data lake might store, unclean data. Unclean data means what? Your because your transformation will happen, post saving, after saving. You know, so your data will be loaded, extracted, and loaded into a data lake, and after that, based on the need, it can perform a transformation. So that transformation, who can help you? Okay, the data lake formation can be helping you. So data lake formation can help you to prepare your data for the analysis, for providing a machine learning. For example, uh, it can provide a machine learning transform called as find matchers for data duplication, data deduplication. So it can perform that operation. So your data, which is present inside a data lake, it can turn into a data swarm also. So it is kind of turning into, there is a possibility of turning it into a data swamp also, where you are literally dumping, a data, and it will, become, overnight a dumping ground also. So for that, data lake formation is playing a crucial role to find out, okay, the data which you are processing is duplicate data or not. Then optimize your storage engine And how can we optimize our storage engine? By using S3. So S3 will help us to optimize our storage space. The ability to ingest the data is also access the data of analytics. Okay, and which can apply it on that particular data. So AWS data lake will also use S3 as a storage engine, and this is one of the durable and scalable data. Okay, which can scale you know uh, it into maybe a terabyte or petabyte of data or even more. Okay, and the granular permission and access control, again with the help of a lake formation, we can provide some kind of access control on our data. So you can define security policies restricting our data access. Okay, so we can do that with the help of a lake formation. You know, so Amazon Athena is going to help you in the probably in the finding out a data. Amazon S3 will help you to store a data. It is acting as a storage engine, and you know for these 2 point glue and lake formation will help you. Okay, and of course the silo point, overcome data from silo, from one source. So data lake is the answer for that. Okay, so let's quickly look at some feature of a data lake. So we do have a data ingestion, storage optimization, security, and data sharing. So data ingestion. So as we have discussed, my data might come from variety of a data sources. It may come from any kind of a database, any NoSQL database, or any social media platform also. You know, so that is a feature which kind of beats a data warehouse. So which where your data will come from only a structure source. Since we are going to use S3 for storage, so S3 is one of the scalable and durable storage. Okay, so we are going to use S3 for storage and S3 as a storage engine. Okay, and when we use S3 as a storage engine, sorry. So with the lake formation, you can build secure data lakes in just few days. But that might go to a few months in case of a data warehouse. Okay, and security and governance I can apply by using again lake formation. So lake formation helps you to apply the security and the governance. So lake formation uses the encryption capability. Okay, so for example, data is encrypted while it has a rest. So whenever we are storing a data, it will be always in the form of an encryption. So lake formation uses encryption capabilities of S3, so which uses server-side keys, server-side encryption technique, and which will use AWS KMS, Key Management Service. Okay, and this can store a data securely as well as help you to okay just transfer a data or share a data between data lake. So I may go and transfer a data between different fine-grained okay purpose-built database also. So these are some of the point which are related to the data lake. So data ingestion, optimization, data governance, and data sharing. Okay. As we have discussed, already while discussing that diagram, so it is just telling you that. So it will help you to store all of your data in the open format. So it might come from any kind of a structured or unstructured, data. So using data lake, you can store all of your data, your relational or your non-relational data, that is your structured or unstructured data cost effectively. So lake formation, data lake, AWS lake formation data lake uses S3 as a storage engine where ultimately your data can be stored. So it supports a format based on the open standard, and it helps you to a data silo problem. So your data is not coming from any one source. It might come from a variety of sources. Cost efficiency. So S3 has the feature like there are different storage tiers. So for example, S3 intelligent tier gives you automatic storage cost for storing that data. So if you need that data, okay, then it will okay pull that data very faster. And if you don't need that data, if that data is not queried for longer time, it can intelligently detect that and can store into the lower cost storage also intelligently. Okay, so guys, do you have any kind of a question on this? Anybody? Guys, are you listening to me? Is it making sense to you? Can you give me some reaction? Yeah, Prajakta is asking for a practical. So it is not possible, to show you a practical demo in this particular session because there are a lot of services, and this session is not been targeted for a practical session. So I will just give you an overview. And if you in case need, any kind of a practical session, you can just connect to any of our team members. Cloud provider is not going to be different from any cloud provider. So for Azure, for GCP, for Oracle, so you might have a different services which might be targeting for this particular topic also. But from AWS side, this is the service which is going to target. Okay, like that, different cloud vendor might have a different services which tackles to this same problem. Okay, so let me continue and this. So we have discussed this also. So these are the overall services where you can use. So this is your data lake, let's say. Okay. So your lake formation. So there are different services. You have a lake formation, you have S3, you have Glue, you have Amazon Athena, RDS, DynamoDB, Redshift, OpenSearch, SageMaker, all these services, is surrounding services for the data lake. So lake formation integrate AWS services to build your modern data architecture. So this is the core service, which will integrates all the services for the modern data architecture. It provides centralized management, okay, and security, permissions, okay, and policy control for the data ecosystem. So this is the centralized service which can manage security and policy control. For storage, we will use S3. So S3 is a service, simple storage service. Okay. So for storage engine, it is going to use S3. For extract, transform, and load, it can use Amazon Glue. For ETL purposes, extract, transform, and load, it can use Amazon Glue. But when we work with the data lake, it can do extract and transform only initially. Sorry, extract and load only initially. After loading, it can apply the transformation. Okay. Then we have Amazon Athena. Okay, which can help you in the query, SQL query. So Amazon Athena for writing a query. Lake formation is for okay the governance and security. Okay, then we have RDS DynamoDB. So it can integrate your structured data as well as your unstructured or semi-structured data with DynamoDB. Okay, we have Redshift, so which can be a solution for AWS for a data warehouse. Okay. OpenSearch, okay. So it can help you in the monitoring log analytics, okay, as well as it will help you in the searching capability also. Okay, and we have the SageMaker, Amazon SageMaker, which can help you in the machine learning capability of this. So all these services, when we talk about the data lake, all these services together integrated, can come into a picture. That's the reason I told Prajakta, it is not possible for in this limited time, okay, to show you a practical demo. And the agenda for this session is not to show you the practically, it is just going to give you an overview of all these services. So if you look at key takeaway from this particular diagram, so what are your key takeaway. So AWS Data Lake is a foundation for a modern data architecture. So that store, process, and analyze. Okay, and so it can help you to store, process, and analyze your data. You know, so it is core takeaway if you look at from this particular diagram. So AWS Data Lake is a foundation for modern data architecture that helps you to store, process, and analyze your data with the help of all these services. Got it? So now we'll just talk about these service independently. All these services. So now, very first, we will discuss Amazon RDS. So Amazon RDS, Amazon DynamoDB. So all these are the purpose-built database. So you might have heard general purpose database. It is just like a purpose-built database. So if you want to have a need of storing a structured database, you can go for RDS. So it is just like to store a data into a tables, into a relational table, where you are having relationship between two tables can be established. So Amazon RDS is a solution for that. DynamoDB is a solution for a NoSQL data, where you can store a data in the form of a key value in the form of a document. So it is a solution for that. So in short, you're having purpose-built database. So you're having a relational database. You're having a key value database. You're having a document, in-memory, graph, and all other types of a database. So for example, relational database, if you're having, so let's say, so ACID, atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So ACID transaction, strong integrity. Okay, and you can define a schema. Okay, so ACID, for example, you are having RDS, MySQL or Postgre, Aurora, MySQL or Postgre. So that is kind of a database I can build in the relational front. So key value, so high throughput, low latency, unlimited storage. So for example, the DynamoDB. So DynamoDB is an example of the key value storage. Just give me 1 minute, please. If somebody's on. Yeah. So you can store a key value document in the DynamoDB. If you're having some kind of in-memory, for example, Redis cache is an example of uh, the in-memory database. So from AWS front, if you're having uh, the Elastic Cache is a service from the in-memory data source. So if you want to store some kind of a graph data, so you have a service called as AWS Neptune. Okay. So all these, a type of a data you can capture into AWS. So let's take down, let's go down into RDS, Amazon RDS. So the first type of a database that we can integrate into a modern data architecture is a RDS. You know, so it provides centralized, data model. It uses SQL for querying a data, and it enforces strict primary key and data integrity. So all these are the points related to the relational databases, which might be applicable for the RDS also, relational data store. So Amazon relational data services, it's a kind of a relational databases we are working on from the many years. So it is there, in many years in the industry. Okay. So if you look at the feature of RDS, so if you want to set up your database on your on-premise data center, okay, then you require a lot of administrative tasks. Administrative tasks such as you need to uh, set up a database. After you set up a database, you need to take up regular backup. And after you set up a database, you need to do a regular patching of a database. So there are a lot of administrative tasks if you're setting up that database, you're on premise. So it will remove the administrative task if you go and make use of a AWS RDS. Okay, so it can save you from that administrative task. Okay, so it can deploy the database, okay, at the scale. Okay, so deploy a database, and on the based on the need, on depending on the need, it can scale up or scale down your database also. So scaling up, scaling down, is a feature of the the any kind of a cloud. So it is most important feature of any kind of a cloud, that is called as the elasticity. So scaling up and scaling down. So scaling out or scaling in, you know, and provides, of course, the high availability. So it can provide, you know, high availability by providing a deployment. So if you know the concept of a region in the AWS, there are a lot of regions present. So you can deploy your database in one region, and you can keep a backup of your database into another region. So it can allow us to have a multi-zone deployment, where your automatic failover. So if your, your database which is present in the primary region, which goes down in your primary region, has some fault. In that case, it can automatically fail over, to the secondary region, to the standby region. So there are lot of RDBMS database engine, you know, which are provided by the AWS. So AWS has, for example, AWS Aurora database, which is compatible of MySQL and PostgreSQL. Okay, as well as you are having database for Oracle, database for MySQL, SQL servers. Okay, so it can be provided by the RDS. Okay, and let me see, guys, you are having a question or not? Guys, you are listening. I hope you are listening to me. Can I have some kind of a thumbs up, or can you give me some reaction if you are listening? Okay, let's go ahead and let's complete this. So benefit of any kind of a RDS, relational database. So if you do it on the cloud, let it be AWS cloud or any other cloud, so it provides you a scalability. So that is most important benefit you're going to. Okay, and you're going to get the performance benefit also. Depending on your need, you can choose your the background infrastructure. So if you choose your infrastructure stronger, it will going to perform it better. But you have to pay for that stronger infrastructure. You know, so if you provision a stronger storage device or stronger infrastructure, it can help you to perform you know uh, the data, or it can help you to perform that overall database on that particular data set, no, on that particular uh, the infrastructure. Okay. Okay, so I can integrate my RDS data, okay, into a data lake S3. So most straightforward and secure approach to export data into a data lake, by enabling uh, ETL capability, by using a data from RDS and dumping it down into a data lake, or storing it into a data. So it allows, if your data is present on the RDS, it allows us to query that data by using Amazon Athena. So this service can help you to query a data from RDS. Okay, so there are few limitations of relational data services. So it may not be ideal case where you require a low latency or flexible schema. you know. So for example, you want a single millisecond, latency, single digit millisecond latency for all the queries, and you're having a requirement of where you want to store a data which is not coming in a fixed format. So where you need a flexible schema. So this may not be a suitable database for such scenario. In that scenario, you may go for NoSQL data storage, for example, DynamoDB. So we were discussing this point. So we have started our discussion with the data lake, which stores over here in the center of the data strategies, and all the surrounding services, like for example, RDS, DynamoDB, SageMaker, Redshift, Open Service, EMR. All these are the surrounding services which will surround your data lake, along with lake formation and data glue or AWS glue. Okay, so NoSQL database. in the AWS solution, you are having DynamoDB. So DynamoDB provides us a quick response time. You know, so if you are having a requirement to store a huge amount of data, you know, and that huge amount of data might go, into terabyte, petabyte, or even more, then you can consider using, DynamoDB, where you are having a data structure is not fixed. So, for example, the data in which you are, loading the into a database which is not into a fixed format, then you can use, this DynamoDB. You know, so DynamoDB help us to optimize, you know, to store and retrieve a large volume of a data. DynamoDB offers well-defined lookup, you know, with keys as unique identifier. So I can just go and search that key, based on that key, and that key is normally your partition key. So I can create a partition key, and based on that partition, my data will be stored into a logical partition. Okay. And if I provide that, key, partition key, so then it will help you to, uh, search that data from a limited partition only, rather than, your full table scan. It will just scan only a particular partition and can help you to give a quicker response. And if you look at, so these are some, the feature of DynamoDB. So first is access pattern. So access pattern, as we discussed, the last point, so uses access pattern, key value access pattern, simply, enables us to high uh, partitionable data. So for example, you are having a huge amount of data to be stored. So rather than storing it into a one places, I will just go and create a logical partition. Okay. And that logical partition with the help of a partition key. So like that, I can, get the data easily from that particular partition. It supports horizontal scaling beyond the limit of most of the databases. You know, so it uses a concept like sharding, database sharding. So it creates, shard key. So whatever be the partition key, we have created, it refers as a shard key, and it will store into, independent, shards. So scalability, if you look at, tables can grow virtually any size. So there is no limitation on how much data I can store. So I can go, up to, as I said, up to petabyte or even more. And it can support auto scaling, global replication, all these features. So for example, global replication means what? So if you are having a data present here in one country, if your data is modified at this database, then it will get replicated wherever it is available, the copies, the replication will happen also. You know, and that replication might happen, based on the use cases. So there is something called as a CAF theorem. So you might have heard of that CAF theorem. So that CAF theorem is very important, uh, in understanding this particular point. So where your synchronous data replication might happen, at the same time. Okay. So AWS DynamoDB, as I said, it's a fully managed, you know, serverless, or it can provision also, but it is mostly a serverless. And whenever it is serverless, it is automatically, scales a table and adjusts the capacity and maintain the performance without manual, administration. So it is kind of a serverless database. You know, Cost optimization supports, both on-demand or provisional capacity. you know. So I can specify the capacity, and based on that capacity, my billing will happen. Okay, and supports mission critical workload. So which you can't afford to lose. So where you are having, highest availability available, and data security. So, whatever data you are storing inside this, of course, whether it is storing inside the RDS or inside this, it will be encrypted at rest. So at the time of storing, whenever you are storing a data, it will encrypt, okay, and store, and you will have a point in recovery. So point in time recovery. So whenever you need a recovery of that data, it is, uh, you know, allow you to recover a data from that point only. So I can just take a backup, manual backup, or I can schedule a backup, and that can help me to protect my data. So just like we have discussed, I can just apply this DynamoDB. I can uh, um I can move my data in or out from this DynamoDB to a data lake, or to S3, you know, or to any other, data architecture which we have seen. You know, so exports data from DynamoDB to other services which we have discussed into, uh, the the surrounding services from the data lake. You know, so so we are having RDS, DynamoDB, SageMaker, Redshift, EMR, all these services. You know, so then let's quickly, discuss remaining services. So as I said, Redshift is a solution for a data warehouse, AWS solution for a data warehouse. So Amazon Redshift enables building fully managed data warehouse natively into AWS. So which provide us a concurrency, overcome storage capacity limit, Okay, provides performance, okay, and minimize data movement. So all these are the feature of Redshift. Okay, so it provides familiar looking SQL to combine and process data, you know, without any kind of a data movement. So that was a point related to the data movement, minimize data movement. So minimize data movement means what? You know, so it provides SQL-like capability to process a data. So I can just process the data by using SQL, so that I don't need to go anywhere, take that data. So for any simple processing purpose. If I have a specialized cases, then I can go and make use of any other the tool like ML tool or visualization tool like Power BI. So in simple, Redshift is a solution for a data warehouse. And data warehouse you can visualize to this, where your data might come from any structured source. Okay, your data may not come from any kind of social media where you're not having a proper structure. So it will help you to what ETL. So extract, transform, and load. So before it store into a data warehouse, it can process. It can extract, load, and then transform, and then store it into a data warehouse. And here, once you have a data over here, I can apply a SQL. So Redshift is a solution for data warehouse from AWS. Then, if you are having a requirement of which where you are working with the big data kind of services, then you are having a service called as EMR, Elastic Map Reduce. EMR stands for Elastic Map Reduce. So where it will allow you to handle extremely large and fast growing data sets, including structured and unstructured from multiple sources. So it can handle extremely large data source. It can handle a big data. Okay, so it will store and process using big data system, like for example Hadoop and MapReduce, and it can enables improved operation to the company and provide better facility to the customers, and create some kind of a personalized campaign, personalized marketing campaign, increase revenue and profit. So profitability can be also increased if you just go and make use of email. So AMR, to put it in a simple word, it is a big data solution. So if you want to work with the Hadoop and MapReduce, so AWS solution for that, you are having AMR, AWS AMR. Okay, so simplify building and operation of a big data environment, as I said, provision clusters in a minutes, because setting up that cluster is not easy. Okay. But if you make use of any kind of a cloud for that purpose, so it can perform that lot of administrative effort can be, that administrative pain can be handled by the cloud. In the case of EMR, data cluster can be set up by the AWS in a few minutes only. Okay, then we are having few service. One is open source, and the last one is SageMaker. So let's see what is the purpose of open search. So open search runs runs queries and provides seamless, personalized search experience, performs security monitoring used to monitor the application, and provide observability to the platform. The last one we are having SageMaker in the data architecture. All these services we have discussed, and the final service we are having SageMaker. So machine learning, is a subset of artificial intelligence. AI is a broad term, and you have a subset of artificial intelligence is machine learning, that involves a lot of trainings, you know, that involves a lot of trainings to the models. And what is model? Model is the AI model, and there are a lot of models where we are using a lot of application. For example, Chat GPT. We are using a Chat GPT as an interface, but under the hood, there is AI model which will give you a response, which can take your prompt and which can give you a response. Okay, so there are a lot of models present online. So for example, ChatGPT uses the model which is provided by the OpenAI. Like that, I can just go and download offline model also, by using a tool called as Olama. Okay, and here you are having SageMaker, which can help you to train that model. So what is the purpose of a SageMaker? So help you to train the model. So it's a fully managed email service for building, training, and deploying a model. The AI model which you have created. So deploys a trained model, to a production environment with the help of a SageMaker. So SageMaker is another service, but this is comparatively very costly service. Very, very costly service. Okay, so all these are the services. Let's wrap up. So data lake we have discussed. So it is a centralized hub for data, data architecture or modern data strategies, built with the lake formation on top of S3. Amazon Glue manage whatever be the metadata of sources where we are taking a data. So it will manage the metadata. Amazon Athena will help you to search the data based on the query. So this can help you to search the data, and RDS is purpose built. Purpose built in case you are having a need of storing, you know, uh, the relational data where you are having a fixed structure, fixed schema, then you can go and make use of a purpose built database called as RDS. Another purpose built database, you're having DynamoDB. In the case of a NoSQL, then you can go and make use of DynamoDB. So I can just go and make use of in case of a transactional data, in case of a ACID data, I will go and make use of a RTS. NoSQL data, I'll just go and make use of DynamoDB. SageMaker, I'll just go and make use of, to optimize machine learning workload, okay, and to build, train the AI model. So I'll just go and make use of SageMaker. I'll just go and make use of a Redshift. So it is optimized for data warehousing, and then apply the analytics. Okay, and open source, is mostly primarily is used for monitoring your application and infrastructure. And EMR is going to help us in a big data kind of a uh, scenario where we are having to process a lot of data. So EMR stands for Elastic Map Reduce. So all these are the services which are come as a surrounding services with the data lake. Okay, and all these services are the services from the modern data architecture, from AWS data strategies. All these services are very, very important. Okay, so that's it, guys. I hope you're listening to me, and thank you so much, guys, for listening to me and patiently attending this session. If you do have any question, I'm here. You please ask me question if you are having. So thank you so much, guys, for attending. Please, you know, please take a few minutes to fill up a feedback form for me. Adi is asking how to clean data automate. For cleaning purpose, you can just go and make use of a data formation only. So data formation, you can go and make use of that cleaning purpose. Or you can create some kind of a pipeline also if you want some kind of a filtering before you go and make use of that data. Okay.
So thank you so much everyone for attending this session. It would be really helpful if you just fill up the feedback form before ending this session. Once you are done filling the feedback form, you can just give me a thumbs up. in the chat, or you can just say done and then you can end the session. So I request everyone to please do fill the feedback form before ending the session. Thank you so much once again, and I hope everyone yeah, really enjoyed the session. Thank you so much. Please do fill the feedback form before ending this session. Thank you.
Guys, thank you so much for attending this session and requesting you to please give your valuable feedback before you end this session. Thank you so much once again.